You know, I am so pleased now to introduce Mike, and I think this is a good time to talk about like the struggles that everyone had to get here, all kinds of reasons, airports coming back after the 2 weeks. It's been quite a long 10 days, but I'm so happy to see both of you here and introducing Moodcomm.
Hi, my name is Kristin.
Hi, my name is Michael Rubenstein, and we are the founders of Moodcomm.
Ugh, why am I still sitting here? I'm so tired. I should sleep, but there's so much stuff I need to do. I can't sleep. I feel like my brain is paralyzed but racing at the same time. Everything is so pointless and unfair. Why should I even bother? That reminds me, the deadline for a project is tomorrow and I haven't even started.
Hey, are you okay? You've been acting really odd recently.
How can I tell her? Oh, whatever.
I'm doing okay.
It can be extremely challenging to communicate your feelings when you're overwhelmed by your own emotions. But we can help. Moodcomm is an iPhone app that helps you articulate and communicate your emotions when you're just not feeling like it. It is an app to use as your daily pick-me-up to get your mental health going in the right direction. Understanding your emotions starts with trust, patience, and Moodcomm.
I came from an abusive family where my parents does not believe in mental health, which is ironic because I suffer severely from it. One day my mother pulled me aside and asked, why am I spending $20K a year for you to study political communication and yet you barely speak to me? And that is when it hits me. Here I am halfway through my communication degree and yet I'm still struggling to communicate my emotion clearly to my own mother. Then I come across with the same issue with my friend who never experienced any type of mental illness, struggling to feel the way I felt. That is my side of the story.
And for my story, I related to a lot with what Kristin just said. In my own life, there have been periods of time where I've struggled with anxiety and depression, and I simply just didn't know what to do. And I always felt like mental health was a sensitive topic that none of my friends or family members would be interested in hearing about.
Which is why we created Moodcomm, an app that helps you articulate and communication your emotion, a tool that helps track and improve your mental health and relationship with others, but most importantly, with yourself. One of our key features in this app is the biweekly mood reporter, which in line with our unique value propositions. This feature, with enough viable data to individual user input into the app, we can generate a report like that to put your emotion and word in front of you, validating your feelings, and tell you how to improve to communicate them better.
So for the features of the app, as soon as users log on to the app, they're greeted by our interpersonal interface on the left. And in the middle is our mood assessment, where users, as soon as they log on to the app, they answer questions and the app learns more about them and tailors the app specifically to their needs. And next is the daily tracking section, where we encourage users every single day to log into the app, answer several different prompts, and the data here will be used in the biweekly mood report that Kristin was speaking about. And to make this more of a community, we created the keyword community section. Here, people on our app, they can talk about different topics of mental health in a moderated and anonymous setting. And then next, we have the smartwatch feature, where users, they can connect Moodcomm with a Fitbit, with an Apple Watch. And what it does, it measures if you've been lying down for too long, if your heart rate randomly spikes, it sends you a simple reminder to just keep going with your day. And most importantly, we have the biweekly mood report. Like Kristin was saying, this is a comprehensive report that allows users to better understand their emotions. And it also gives them an option to share this with a loved one if they are comfortable with doing that.
Like me. Our business model is B2C and freemium style. The cost of a subscription is yet to determine, but it will be around the price of a pick-me-up, like everything that you enjoy in daily life, a coffee, a cake, a chip, or even a burger. Our app will be available in all kind of app store.
And for our go-to-market strategy, we want to do a social media marketing campaign as soon as our app is ready to get more publicity about the app. And by doing this, we also want to partner with relevant influencers and podcasts like Brene Brown, Michael Phelps, Simone Biles, Naomi Osaka. All these influencers are on the forefront of mental health, and it would be great to partner with them. Before our actual launch, we also want to do a beta launch with local grad students in Boston and med school students. And they'll let us know what's working with the app, what isn't working, and how we should improve upon it before our official launch to start Mental Health Awareness Month. And to better visualize this, so the fundraising phase will take about 3 months, and we want to raise at least $250,000 for our app for a minimal viable product. And the next phase is the development stage, and this will take about a year to develop the app. And once it's ready, we will start the new year in 2023 with a beta version of the app and the social media campaign. And then we have our official launch in May of 2023.
We measure our success through 3 key aspects. From the basic analytic through download and usage to financially, we aim to break even at the 3-year mark or become a white label under a medical insurance or agency. Finally, we want to make a social impact in this society where we want to get endorsement from mental health professionals, influencers, or advocates. We want to become the Fitbit of mental health. Our goal is to make this app a better processing your comprehending and communicating your emotion much easier for everyone. Understanding emotions start with trust, patience, and Moodcomm. Thank you.
I want it now.
Yeah.
We need it now. Thank you. That was terrific. Really. Buck, can we start with you?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Sharon. I need it right now. These, mental health issues don't go away. They get worse when they're buried. So I think it's an incredible space and clearly one that is passionate for both of you. And I think similar to other projects that we've seen, building on your own passion is a great place to start. I got really nervous in your pitch video, like I think being able to set up that emotional state is an important thing, and you did that really well. So kudos to that. And I think you have a massive opportunity to make this more human than Headspace, more fun than Noom, easier to use than Fitbit. So I would say keep chasing those big players and eclipse them. You can acquire them one day when you're looking for scale. I think just a couple quick next steps. Test it. See what people actually want to interact with and see what they don't. See what they want to actually put into an app as data and what they'd prefer to write down on paper. Get really, really smart about mental health. And you can do that with partners, and get even smarter about machine learning and mass personalization, because that is what is going to make this feel relevant as opposed to kind of a bunch of best practices. So really great work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Buck. Amy.
Yes, I echo the ideas. It's definitely needed this time and place. And your passion and your personal stories is key, because for a startup, you need to have that passion to help drive you through some of the roadblocks that are going to come. First question I had was around encryption. Obviously, you're talking about some really sensitive information about the person. So I'm hoping you're thinking about ways to protect that information in some way. If not, maybe start incorporating that in your thinking, just because of the sensitive nature of the information you're gathering. The other thought I had was there are a lot of mental health lines that people can call or reach out to. Would they be a good partner in helping you focus group or test this concept with them? Could they be offering it as a partner to you so that you could have access to people who could give you a feedback on your product, so that you don't have to go out and recruit these people, because that's a lot of time and money to try to find people to test your product. So if you could cooperate with some of these helplines, that might kind of speed up your production of your product. The same idea Buck mentioned on Noom, they're going after a psychological change in a way people, deal with the food. Could you do a co-opetition where maybe you work with them, because those people are also trying to address their attitude towards a specific, food problem, but maybe you could work with them. And once you gain traction, then you could split off. So that was just some ideas I thought of when I listened to your idea. It's very simple, which is great. It has a definite need in the marketplace. And I'll let Bhamati speak to the legal ramifications of some of the information that you're collecting. So, well done.
Thank you.
Bhamati?
Everyone loves your idea. There's no question. Your app is gorgeous. It looks like it could exist. I mean, I was ready to like pull it up. I was like, where is this? I'm not finding it on my phone. It's amazingly well thought out. Really, really good job. And I loved your stories. I wish can you just put those up front and center, because those really brought us in like nothing else, right? The video was great and adorable, but your stories brought tears to my eyes, right? But very, very moving. And I love what you're doing. I love the fact, especially, that your generation is not just making mental health publicly known, but that you're validating that people have to manage it. You're making people feel empowered. And just know that about yourselves, right? Be proud of that. That's something to be really, Kristin, you really took your story and turned it into a tool of empowerment. I love that. So
Thank you.
Grab onto that. Okay, that's amazing. I have to, I'm going to just echo what both Buck and Amy said. Thing one, this app is going to only be as good as its algorithms. You need to understand machine learning here. Because not only are you going to have a really powerful algorithm that's doing stuff that's complicated like human emotion, and no matter how good machine learning is, there's still stuff for machines to learn about human emotions, because as you know, they're stochastic. They have random walks, right? Difficult. And if you're partnering, as I assume you want to, with Apple or a third party, it's got to be seamlessly integrated. So there's a lot for you to do and know that's going to be expensive and hard to do on the back end, right? Getting a really good algorithm is expensive. So think about that cost. I don't know how you're going to deal with it, okay? The other thing that Amy mentioned, the words that she mentioned was encryption. And along with the word of encryption comes the word privacy. People are voluntarily sharing shit on this. Incredibly, the most private thing that we have to talk about, our health and our mental health, and people are voluntarily sharing. You're building a community out of sharing. But what if somebody overshares? What if somebody later regrets that they shared? What if they share something that they shouldn't have shared and somebody else uses that information in a certain way? What if I share on this app, I'm really nervous about my ex-boyfriend because he broke up with me and I think he hurt my feelings, but he might be scared of that, and somebody else comes up and takes that story and does something awful with it. And someone says, they found that story on your app. So think really hard about encryption and privacy and building those protective barriers around people in their most vulnerable place. Think about how you would feel with your information, and think about the ramifications of what might happen, not just as a lawyer, but emotionally, how somebody's life could be massively affected. And last point, these are the kinds of sites that get scraped for information all the time. And you have to be really careful, because when that information gets scraped, if there isn't a way of taking away the personalized bits of it, people's information can get out there. So you're in a place of deep human personal vulnerability, which is why it's powerful and why you chose it. And I commend that. But tread really sensitively and carefully, because there are minefields in this area too, right? And I really love what you're doing. So do it. I'm not telling you don't do it. Do it, but do it carefully.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think this is where some of the technologies we learned about, like blockchain,
Yeah.
right? Something like
Exactly.
that would really serve you in a case like this, and really locking it down. So
Excellent.
yeah, terrific. Wonderful, wonderful job.
Thank you.